Oh, please. You're going to do this right now? I mean, come on. You just gave up a 4-goal lead to the Panthers. Probably your biggest competition in this division. What makes you think that you're a cup contender? You always act like I don't understand what it takes to be a champion. But I know what it takes to be a champion. It's not about the money or the skills. It's not about the tragically Canadian women all around you. It's about heart. It's about fighting for your brotherhood. It's about making a difference every single day and working your way towards one single goal. I know what it takes. And this year, this is my year because I have what it takes. Toronto has what it takes. Our fan base is ready and our team is ready. And you're all going to be eating your words when we're out there lifting that cup. Mark my words. We are ready for this. We understand what we are doing here. We know what it takes. What you just said was one of the most insanely idiotic things I've ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. Great reference. Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. That is not a dub. Not right. The Detroit Red Wings were on a 6-game losing streak, 2-6-2 in their last 10, and have the worst defense in the league. They allow the most games on. Yeah, they allow the most goals on average per game. And on a night where we shot 50 times, they allowed 3 goals. This is skewed a little. 50 shots, not a ton of quality. There were some, not a ton. This felt like a 28 to 30 shot game. If you really looked at it, there were just so many shots that got to the net that were not even, you wouldn't even consider them a real chance to score in any way, shape, or form. Not even a good bounce would have gotten those in. So, is what it is. Nedeljkovic, an .854 save percentage over his last 4 starts. I don't know what he ended with this in this game. 3 goals on 50 shots. I don't feel like doing that math. That math's really easy, isn't it? It's a 940. Yeah, that math's really easy. 940 save percentage. Fuck all. This was one of those games. I just said it. This wasn't one of those games where we made a bad goalie look good by taking a bunch of bullshit shots. This goalie's been really good. Merzlikins, he was really good. Nedeljkovic, we made look really good for most of this. The shots just, we weren't actually generating real chances for the most part. We did not have a great game. It wasn't a disaster of a game. It wasn't a game where I expected us to give up 4 goals at an empty netter. But it was what it was. This game was painful for me. I had a bad day, and I was grumpy going into it. I was a grumpy Gus, and I only got grumpier. Swayman got the start. He has a .949 save percentage versus Detroit this year. I don't think that is still the same for obvious reasons. But this game's hardly on Swayman. We have no Pasta, no Freddie, no Lazar. Instead, it's going to be Nosek in Pasta's spot, Foligno in Frederick's spot. Stud takes over for Lazar. Bleed is going to take over Foligno's spot on the left wing of the 4th line. And McLaughlin, what we're calling McMuffin right now, is going to be your right wing on the 4th line. That's a good amount of shuffling. The third pair, which is the only defensive pair that's getting shifted, although that might change next game because injuries are mounting. We'll talk about it. The third pair is going to be Forbort Riley. We're trying that again with Riley on his right side. The pair doesn't work. It doesn't. We're done. That experiment is over. Riley can't handle his right side. He was nowhere near as bad as the last game on his right. But those two together do not work. They were pasted all night by a Red Wings team that has completely fallen off the cliff. That pair doesn't work. So let's stop doing it. I had the misfortune. This is also why I'm a grumpy Gus. I had the misfortune of having to mute this game. Little personal thing about me, I have a thing called misophonia or misophonia. I forget what the doctor called it. But you know how when there's a certain noise, such as someone chewing with their mouth open, and you tell your friends it drives you insane? Misophonia, that's what I'm going to call it, that's the pronunciation I'm choosing, is a mental issue where repetitive noise makes you literally crazy. It doesn't drive you insane. It drives you insane. I can't stay in the same room as these noises. I have to remove myself from situations when there's a noise that gets in the ticker. I have to leave, or else I lose actual control of me as a human. Like, shaken body, not in control of what I'm about to say or do. I need the sound to stop, or I feel like I'm going to die. The weird woo thing that the Red Wings crowd members, and far be it from me to tell the crowd not to do their thing. They do their thing. If I have to mute the game, I guess I have to mute the game. But the repetition of it happening basically every 3 seconds for about, all of the hours of the game, couldn't handle it. Could not handle it. Had to mute it. So if you want to talk about what the broadcast said about certain things, I don't fucking know. Because I didn't get to listen to the broadcast. Because that little woo stuck out beyond everything else. And I couldn't do it. So I had to mute the game. I caught little pieces. I would unmute for a minute, see it had stopped. Very quickly learned that it had not stopped. Had to remute. So there's very little of the game I actually listened to. That's a fun little fact about me. I'm a little jittery right now, even from that. Yay. Let's set the tone, though. This is our third game in 4 days in 3 different cities. One of those cities being Boston, so I guess it's a little unfair to say. But that's a tough part of the back-to-back where you're exhausted from travel and from play. I did not expect a great effort in this one. When we learned that Pasta, who is now... He's been injured for a little while. That's what Cassidy said, that he's had an injury he's been dealing with since the middle of March. This is one of those things where they went, you know what, let's just hold him out. I'm totally fine with that. Missing Lazar, I'm not exactly sure what was going on there. Freddie, upper body, I don't know the timeline on him. These are all unknowns right now. But missing some pretty important pieces, you just didn't know what you were going to get. But 4:43, puck drops, like, comment, subscribe, nailed it. 4:43 into the game, transition, baby. Hall down the left wall, through the neutral zone, into the offensive zone. And he is just going to have the perfect diagonal pass through skates, through sticks, right back to Howla, who has Nedeljkovic beat, far blocker side, just snipes top corner. We're 5 minutes in. It's 1-0. We look like the better team. We're going to smoke them. And you know what? There's a reason. There's one moment. There's a reason we did not smoke them this game. But we'll get there. 6:16 left in the period. It's getting kind of chippy, but it hasn't come nearly to the eruption that we were going to get in the third. But the fourth line gets bludgeoned into their zone. Just absolutely scrambling. Can't get the puck. It's brutal. McLaughlin with a careless stick goes high. Ernie, high sticking, penalty kill time. 6:16 left. And Detroit, what the fuck was that? We are 30 seconds into the power play. Penalty kill. Our penalty kill. And it's just a bad turnover. Bergie, Marshy get the 2-on-1. And they do the right thing. They save it, right? Bergie opts for the shot because the 2-on-1 is played well. Can't get the pass across. Easy save for Ned, but off the pad right back to Bergie. Bergie whips it to the high slot. Forbort, of all people, is there to take the shot. It gets blocked back towards him. And he does, you know how they step into the shot, so the forward momentum, and it blocks past him, so he kind of circles back around? Carlo's the next line. Bouncing puck right to Carlo. He smacks at this high slot. It's a nice, clean, hard shot. And it's going to beat Ned. Bottom blocker. And it's 2-0 with a shorthanded goal. The arena is deflated. They're still doing the fucking woos, but they're deflated for the most part. We have a 2-0 lead in the first, and we are dominating except for when the fourth line is out. Again, the fourth line of Bleed, Studnicka, and McLaughlin. 2:42 left in the period. Mac is going to go for roughing. Yeah. I'm so done with the last minute goals in a period. Because if we think in the regular season it changes momentum and gives life to a team, the playoffs, you can double that, triple it, quadruple it. I don't give a fuck. Just the feeling, the daunting feeling of giving that up in the last period, it is magnified in the playoffs. But we do it again. We're on the penalty kill, can't get the puck out, and the puck just stays in our zone over and over again. Larkin gets a quick pass from Sider. He's on the left circle, and he just flicks a shot, standing still, top corner, and it's perfectly placed. It's post, crossbar in, far side, glove side on Swayman. Swayman's not making this stop 9 times out of 10. Am I really, do you kind of live with that power play goal? Sure, kind of. It's a brilliant shot. There's not much you can do defensively. You try to get inside that shooting lane, but Jesus, it's just the timing of it all. And all of a sudden they have life. And the second starts, and we have a chance to get momentum back. Buck 22 in. McAvoy drives a tripping call. It's gross, awful, stupid power play. It's awful. 6 minutes in, and failed clearances, mostly on Riley. Riley had the biggest failed clearance. Just bobbles it right back to him. But the puck's going to move around again. And it's a shot from the point. It's a good bounce for them off of, I think, forward skate. And it gets right in front of Riley again. Riley can't react fast enough. Rasmussen is right there to smack at the puck. Goes right through Swayman's 5-hole. It's 2-2, 6 minutes into the second. We let this team hang around. It's a tie game now. Now we need to respond. We need to have some sort of response to this. But we have a chance to. 12-12 left of the period. Coyle draws a holding call. And our power play is so bad that Lindholm is unpressured on the blue line and just accidentally takes it out of the zone. The power play is atrocious. I don't care that we're top 10 in the league in power play. I don't understand how we are. Because we are not a team, usually, that scores. I know we just won a game like this against Columbus. But not usually a team that scores in a tie game with a power play. Or a game where we're down by a goal with a power play. I feel like the only time we score power play goals is when we're already up. I don't think we have a very good power play, especially in intense situations. That's just how I feel. I don't have the stats to back that up, but that's how I feel. And isn't this fun? 8:28 left, and Foligno jumps too high in the neutral zone. Pass goes by him. And then Forborn, way too far over to the right side, gets cut in on, and he's behind the play. That means Riley now has to come over to help to the right side. I don't know if this was just a shift thing or if they actually tried Forborn on the right for a little while. Not sure what happened here. But Riley then has to come over. Nosek doesn't pick up his guy quick enough. And then it's an easy ticky-tack because you just one by one, Bruins player out of position. It's a cross-slot feed, and Sway just doesn't have a chance. Zadina nails this. Open net, though. It's 3-2, and we never really... What are we doing? We're not making any sort of push. We're clearly exhausted. We're missing some major pieces, but still, this is Detroit. They're not good yet. They're gonna be good soon, but they're not good yet. I cannot believe just falling apart like this. And with 52.2 seconds left in the period, Foligno is going to go for hooking. This time, we don't allow a last-minute goal on it. Third period starts. We have to kill off the rest of that hooking call. We do, but Lindholm, some sort of injury in the second that I did not see and I didn't hear them talking about. Because the woos. But Lindholm would not return for this period. We're unsure what's going on there. Injuries are mounting. That's Freddie, Pasta, and Lindholm. That's 3 pretty decent pieces right there. Anyway, third period. 3:27 in, McAvoy for high sticking. 30 seconds into power play. Verona just takes his zone. He's being harassed. He's got sticks on him. Flicks this as Swayman just beats him high blocker. This is what I want Swayman to have. It's a good shot. But You need to have this save in a 1-goal game, and it being as heavily contested as it was, you got to make this stop. This is the one goal this game where I'm really like, man, that's the one you really should have had. 4-2. 11:14 left. Rasmussen, interference, power play time. Do jack shit with it. It's the best power play of the period, or it's the game, I should say. Doesn't matter. We don't score on it. And that's just another case of it might be the best power play of the game. Doesn't mean shit if you don't score when you need it the most. And so we move on. 8:02 left. DeBrusk with a great play to the front of the net. And he is going to get hooked. But it doesn't matter because 20 seconds, 40 seconds into the power play, Hall is going to hook. That's going to 4v4 for $1.12. And then we're going to have to kill off a penalty. All of that gets killed. 3:36 left in the game. We pull Sway. Pull him nice and early. 2-goal deficit. Let's go. 20 seconds later, Marchand and Larkin are going to go for roughing. It's going to be 4v4. We're going to keep Swayman out. So 5v4 with space. And we score. McAvoy, high slot, fires in. Bergie gets the tip. Beats Ned. 4-3. We're in this. And then they do something weird. Play starts. We get the puck. It's still 4v4. They tell Swayman to stay. And I know that you're trying to give that team enough time. When it's 4v4, you have more space on the ice. Pull them. 100% pull them. I did not understand that decision to delay that. They would eventually pull him. Nedeljkovic is going to make a great pass from his crease into the neutral zone to Gagne to just nail this open net. 5-3 final. Frustrating game. But third game, 4 days, 3 different cities. Let's give ourselves a little bit of a break. Game notes. Swayman has to stop handling the puck. I want him to improve some things. I know he hasn't been great. But whenever he leaves the crease to handle the puck, it is not good. It's shades of Vanacek from last year for the Capitals. We abused that all series as we chucked it in on him and had him handle the puck and he'd turn it over. Swayman, we'd be better off if he just stayed in his crease. Stop playing the puck. Because I don't think that's going to get corrected in a month. This power play unit can suck it. But let's talk about the biggest thing. Lindholm, we don't know what we're looking at for him. Pasta, we don't know what kind of injury this is and how long it's going to be nagging. Freddie, we don't know the time frame on him. I know that with Pasta and Freddie, they would have been able to play this game. They're being held out for precautionary reasons, and they're trying to get them fully healthy again. They could have played through whatever they had tonight from what I've heard. Lindholm, I have no news on yet. Lower body, no clue what's going on, though. The injuries are the biggest concern. We had just talked about this a few videos ago. Clearly, I cursed the team because that's the way everything's going right now. I cursed them and I apologize. Knock on wood, no more injuries. Please, for the love of God, can we stop with that nonsense? Because this team's going to be a dark horse regardless. You start injuring our guys, we don't have a chance. Please. All right, guys, that does it for me. Like, comment, subscribe. Big game against Tampa coming up. Let's see who we have in the lineup. Again, I don't so much care about seeding, but with the way we got thrashed by Toronto the other day, and Toronto blew a 4-goal lead to lose in overtime, which is fun to the Panthers, unfortunately. But still, I want to see us beat Tampa again. I really do. We have a lot of tough games coming up. Let's at least stay in these games with these good teams. That's really important to see. Go Bees!